Hello and welcome to the Consistory of the Coelc YouTube channel. I'm your host of this video, Reverend Jake Zabel of the St. John's Evangelical Lutheran Church, located in Dalby, Queensland, Australia. Today I'm going to continue my series on Angelology, particularly looking at the choirs of angels. This comes from my book, Choirs of Angels, a brief study on the kind of angels. Today I want to talk about Pauline angels. In the preceding videos after this, I'm going to be talking about the choirs of principalities, powers, dominions, virtues, and thrones. The 5 choirs mentioned in the Pauline epistles. But I want to address each one of those choirs individually in their own video. Today I'm going to talk more about a kind of brief overview of Paul's view on these different choirs of angels. So, the rest of the choirs to this point we have discussed as their own single choir. However, now these next angels I'm going to discuss as a single group. These are the thrones, the dominions, the principalities, the powers or authorities, and the virtues or powers, which makes things nice and confusing. These creatures appear in numerous Bible verses. Colossians 1:16, 2:10, 2:14, Ephesians 1:21, 3:10, 6:12, Romans 8:38, 1 Corinthians 15:24, and 1 Peter 3:22. In a few of these texts, it is possible that Paul is talking about earthly rulers and not angelic beings, but in most of these texts, Paul is clearly talking about spiritual beings, whether they be demonic enemies or heavenly servants. Colossians 2:10, Ephesians 1:21, 3:10, and 1 Peter 3:22 all speak of Christ being seated higher than angels, principalities, powers, virtues, and dominions. While Colossians 2:14, Ephesians 6:12, Romans 8:38, and 1 Corinthians 15:24 speak of the angels, principalities, powers, and virtues that war against the saints of God. Colossians 1:16 speaks of all the invisible creatures of Christ, the thrones, the dominions, the principalities, and the powers. Now, to begin with, there is some confusion about the choirs of powers or authorities and virtues or powers. So in Catholicism, one of the choirs is referred to as powers. However, the Greek word here is not dunamis, but is exousia, the Greek word for authority. It would be more appropriate then to call these angels authorities. On the other hand, there is a choir that is often referred to as virtues in the Greek, and this is actually the word dunamis, and so they could be referred to as powers. The word dunamis means power, force, energy, and the original meaning of virtue also meant essence or energy. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video on Ophanim, the Catholic Church teaches that the wheels or Ophanim and the thrones are actually the same choir, and they base this on Daniel 7:9. Although I did explain this in great detail in my previous video on the Ophanim. I personally believe that there is more weight to say that they are different choirs, and that the thrones and the wheels are actually distinct. So little is known about these 5 choirs from the Pauline epistles, and so I'm just going to go through church tradition on them. However, I am not going to do that in this video, but I'm going to save that for my next video where I'm going to start going through the first choir, thrones. So I've been your host, Reverend Jake Zabel. Goodbye and God bless.